Oh, Sayyid, Baita, huh? Abu Jahl, that's right. Abu Jahl. All right.
يا بنت.
What's the All right. Now we go to question number 4, which has 2 parts. Why was the threat against the Prophet's life such a big concern? Why was that such a big deal? Why was it such a big deal? No ladies. Tafadali, yes.
Because nobody had ever threatened him before.
Okay, nobody threatened him before. Expand on that. Nobody threatened him before, huh?
Because he was a good person.
He was a good person. Yeah, he was. There's no question. That's not the answer. But he was definitely a good person. But so she kind of got it right in the sense that what? For the first time, the safety of the Prophet was what? Threatened. Okay, it's a new level of what? A new load for the pagan. So should we give her candy for that?
Yes.
Yes. She said yes. MashaAllah, I like that. Alhamdulillah. All right. What was the second reason why this was such a big concern? Atfadal. What is it? Okay, what do you think would have happened if the Prophet was assassinated, huh? Probably. Yes. So you can't be a politician. You can't be a politician. You're going to answer. You got to answer with certainty. Yeah, I mean, without the Prophet, would the deen continue? Because he was the vessel of the deen, right? Allah was revealing the deen to the people through him. Hold up. All right. So, because Allah is hafidun dina, because Allah is going to always preserve his deen, his religion, he caused 2 people to accept Islam, and because they accepted Islam, they gave what? Islam credibility, gave it strength, and they made the people think twice about hurting the Muslims in general, let alone who? The Prophet ﷺ. So who was the first one? No, did you answer already?
Yes.
Give me somebody else. Somebody who didn't answer.
I didn't answer.
Wait, I'm going to come to you. I'm starting in the back. Someone who didn't answer. Come on, everybody should know this. Haram.
This is easy.
Haram. تفضل يا شيخ.
Hamza.
حمزة ممتاز. حمزة من من؟ حمزة. No, you can't. Politician. حمزة من من يا اخوان؟ ها؟ ابن من؟ Ibn Abdul Muttalib, right? Hamza Ibn Abdul Muttalib, okay? Alright, that was the first one. Who was the second one? Who? Haram, ya Sheikh, Haram. Hussein. Umar al-Khattab, yes. Alright, Mumtaz. Alright, now it's going to get hard now. It's going to get hot in here. Even though they got the AC on, it's going to be hot. How did Hamza accept Islam? Give me a summary on that. Summarize that for me. If you get it wrong, say it, I'm going to throw you out. He knows the answer. Bid you jawab.
He was hunting for lions in the desert.
Okay, don't say lions. Because you're adding details that I didn't give you, and people are moaning in the back. So he was hunting, and just stop there. Go ahead.
Stopped there and thought that how could statues that couldn't move, that's behind 4 walls,
Hamza. You started out good, Sayyid. He was hunting in the desert. So then he came back from his hunting expedition, and what happened? You remember? Not quite. quiet. Yes. Yes. Okay, but you got to explain that.
When he says stuff, he really means it.
You guys ever seen Swiss cheese? You guys ever seen Swiss cheese? Raise your hand if you've seen Swiss cheese. I don't want answers that are Swiss cheese. I want a whole piece of cheddar. It's got to be. Yes.
So then he heard that somebody threw a rock.
Okay, all right. All right.
And so once he heard that, he took the person
Ah.
that did that,
Uh-huh.
the head, and then he
What did he do to him? Let him finish. Let him finish. He's doing good. Yeah, he hit him with his bow. And he said, what did he say?
and then he said, do not hurt the prophet of Allah. And
Don't hurt him because you're right there, brother. Ah, come on, you got it. Huh? Yeah, okay, pretty good. So he hit him with the bow. He said, "Are you harassing the prophet and ana dini? And I'm on his religion. I'm following his religion. I'm a follower of his religion." So was he really a follower at that time? Was he really a follower?
no.
He said it what?
Yes.
Accidentally, out of anger. But he was a man of what?
His word.
Of his word. So if I say I'm going to follow it, I'm going to follow it. So he stuck to it. And he opened his heart to who? To Allah. You know what? I'm going to give him 2 pieces of candy. Not fellowship. All right, good job. Oh, it's going to get even hotter now. How did Umar accept Islam? How did Umar accept Islam? Adly. Yes.
By dua.
Huh?
Dua.
Dua of the Prophet. Mumtaz. Do you remember the dua?
No.
No. Oh, what happened?
I know the dua.
You know the dua? Are you sure?
Yes. But I know it in English.
He knows it.
I know it in English.
You know it in English?
He knows it.
No, I really wanted it in Urdu. I really don't. I don't know. Go ahead, give it to me. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Right. So he said, "Oh Allah, guide to Islam, ahabbu rajulaini ilayk." And he mentioned the 2 of them, Umar and Abu Jahl, and Allah guided who? Umar. Mumtaz. Good job. All right. Last but not least, how did Umar's conversion impact the lives of Muslims living in Mecca? 4 answers there. 4 answers. You already answered. I need somebody who didn't answer. Somebody who didn't answer. Saeed, go for it. Come on, Saeed. Give me one. Okay, that was true about him, but how did it impact the lives of the Muslims?
He protected them.
Okay, how did it protect? Give me something practical. You're too general. You got to be specific now. How? What were they able to do after he accepted Islam that they couldn't do before?
Well, they couldn't really attack Muslims because they were
Okay, you're talking about, the pagans couldn't attack them anymore. How did it affect the Muslims? I want to talk about, I'm helping you here. Something that they couldn't do before he accepted Islam, but they could do it afterwards. After he accepted Islam, they could do it. I need a hand. Abd'Llah.
Because they were scared to attack them, so that they could pray in public.
So they could do what? They could worship Allah in public. Okay, they can worship Allah openly. They can worship Allah openly. Okay, that's one. Give me another one. Adly. And one. They started retaliating, right? So before, when they would be assaulted, they had to just what? Swallow it. But now they would do what? They would retaliate. Okay, Give me one more. Two left. One more. Two more. Two more. Big hinge. Big hinge. Big hinge. Big hinge. Big hinge. How close are you? Huh? Oh, I'm just giving it away. Oh!
They could go to the cover.
Oh! Yeah! Woo! All right. Yes. Yes. All right. One more. I got one more, huh? One more. I give it hints, and people talking about
One more hint.
they can stir mashed potatoes. They can for free. Who's saying yes? Ooh, you are so close. They can make da'wah. They can make da'wah what? Publicly, right? Publicly. They can make da'wah. They can call and invite what? You know, full pass. You guys did good. Good job. All right. All right, so after this, at this point now, the pagans, they realize that all their methods, and they employed a lot of different methods, all these methods were being frustrated. And they couldn't halt or slow the spread of Islam by anything that they had done. So they said, okay, now we need to try some different tactics. We need to try some different tactics. So they decided to try 3 tactics. We're going to talk about 2 of them today. We'll talk about the third one, inshallah ta'ala, next week. They decided to try 3 tactics. What were the tactics? The first one was bribery. The first one was bribery. What's bribery? What's bribery? Abd'Llah. Mumtaz. So basically, if you give someone something worldly, something of value, to influence what? Their decision or their actions, that's what we call a bribe. So they said to themselves, they said, okay, Muhammad ﷺ, is a man of ambition. He's an ambitious person. Wallahi, I would appreciate it if once we get inside, that door closes and we just sit. We just can't keep going in and out. And I worry that the whole candy thing might be undermining what we're trying to do. The people come inside for the candy and then they go outside afterwards. It's wallahi, it's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes. So we just need to kind of park it, and I ask mothers to kind of assist in that whole thing. Have your child just sit next to you, park it for 20 minutes, we'll get some benefit, and we'll close. All right, that said, so they said, we think in our minds the prophet's just what? Ambitious. He's an ambitious man. And ambitious men are corruptible. You just have to know what the key is to what? To corrupting them. What's the thing that they want from this world? Give them that in abundance, and then you can do what? You can pull their strings like a puppet, right? That's what they're thinking, okay? So we can make the prophet abandon this new religion if we just find out what it is that he wants. So, Ibn Ishaq mentioned that one day, a bunch of the pagans were together, the leaders of Quraysh, and among them was a man by the name of Utbah ibn Rabi'ah. Utbah ibn Rabi'ah. And he made the suggestion, he said, you know what? He said, why don't we approach the prophet? Why don't you let me approach the prophet on behalf of all of us? And I'll make an agreement with him that we'll give him whatever worldly thing he wants. We'll give him whatever worldly thing he wants in exchange for him to stop propagating his new faith. And so the pagans said, yeah, this is a good idea. We tried everything else. Let's try that. So Utbah, he goes to the Prophet ﷺ, and he says, "O my nephew, you are a man with noble lineage, who holds a high family status. Yet unfortunately you come to your own people with a very grave matter that divides their various factions. You have outraged our gods, insulted our religion, charged our forefathers and wise men with impiety and error, and you've caused strife amongst us. So please listen to what I propose to resolve this matter once and for all." So the Prophet ﷺ, he says, "Speak, Abu Walid. You have my attention. I'm listening." So Abu Walid, he says, "O Muhammad, if you are doing all of this seeking to get rich, we will all join together and give you from our wealth until we make you the richest man Quraysh has ever known. You want money? We'll give you all of our money until we make you the richest man that Quraysh has ever known." He said, "If you're driven by ambition, we will make you our chief. We'll make you the chief. We'll make you the head of Quraysh. Maybe that title isn't good enough. Maybe you want kingship. If that's what you want, we'll crown you our king. We'll make you the king of Quraysh, if that's what you want. And if you are under the power of an evil spirit which haunts you and influences you beyond your own control, and you are unable to shake him off of your yoke, then we shall summon skillful physicians to cure you. And we'll pay the bill. We'll pay the medical bill. So you can be treated and be rid of this what? This evil jinn that is possessing you and making you say the things that you say." So when he completed all of his offers, all of his proposals, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Have you said all that you wish to say? Are you done talking? Is that everything you wanted to say?" And he said, "Yes." At which point the Prophet ﷺ, rather than answering himself, he answered with the Quran. So he recited to him the first few ayat, the first few verses of Surah Fussilat, which read what means, "In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, Hameen. A revelation from Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. A book whereof the verses are explained in detail. A Quran in Arabic for people who know. Giving glad tidings of paradise for the one who believes, and warning of punishment in hellfire to the one who disbelieves. But most of them turn away, so they listen not. And they say, our hearts are under covering, screened from that which you invite us. And in our ears there is deafness, and between us and you is a screen." And the Prophet went on reciting. And the whole time, Utbah is gripped by the powerful, eloquent speech of the Quran. And then the Prophet, he reached the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "But if they turn away, O Muhammad, I have warned you of a sa'iqah, a destructive, awful cry, a torment, a thunderbolt, like the sa'iqah which overtook Ad and Thamud." So when he said this, Utbah was gripped with what? Fear. And he did like this. He did like this. He covered the Prophet's mouth. He covered his mouth and he said to the Messenger of Allah, he said, "O Muhammad, I beg you in the name of Allah and the ties of kinship, stop lest the calamity should befall the people of Quraysh. Don't keep going. Don't keep reading. Stop, because maybe this punishment will befall the people of Quraysh." What does that tell you? What does that tell you? He believed. He believed. He knew it was truth. Even though he didn't what? He didn't admit it, he knew it was true. So then, in this same state, this shocked state, this frightened state, he returns to the Qurayshis, to the pagans, who sent him in the first place. And he says, I've never heard words similar to the ones he recited. They definitely relate neither to poetry nor to witchcraft, nor do they derive from soothsaying. And the whole time they're saying, what's wrong with you? You look different. You're not the same man who left a few minutes ago to make the proposal. What's wrong with you? So he keeps on going. He says, O people of Quraysh, I request you to heed my advice and grant the man, Muhammad, full freedom to pursue his goal. Just leave him alone and let him preach. In which case, you could safely detach yourselves from him. You can disconnect yourself. You can say, hey, he's preaching and we have nothing to do with what he's saying. Okay? I swear that his words bear a supreme message. It's divine. It's divine. What he's saying is divine. What's that tell you? He believed. He knew it was true. But he didn't what? Admit it. Should the other Arabs rid you of him, maybe the other Arabs will kill him. They don't like what he says, and they will what? Kill him. If they rid you of him, they will then spare you his trouble. On the other hand, if he accedes, if he succeeds and accedes to power over the Arabs, then you will do what? You will bask in his power and authority because you are his kinsman. You are from his family. But these words fell on deaf ears. They didn't want to hear that. And they mocked and derided Utbah. And they said, you're saying this because you've been bewitched by Muhammad. Muhammad has what? Has cast a spell on you. So they started discussing again, and they said, we need to come up with a different tactic. That whole bribery thing just didn't work. So they said the next tactic is going to be what? Huh? Compromise. What's compromise? What does that mean? What does that mean? What do lo tudhidu? For you to heal. Right? They would like it if you did what? If you incline toward them, so they would incline toward you. They want you to give a little, and they'll do what? They'll give a little. That's what compromise means. That's what the pagans say. So you know what? We'll compromise with them. So the scholars of Seerah, they mention that one day the Prophet was circling the Kaaba. And there was a group of the mushrikun who saw him doing that. And that group included Al-Aswad ibn al-Muttalib, Al-Walid ibn Mughira, Umayyah ibn Khalaf, and Al-As ibn Wa'il al-Sahmi. These four, they saw the Prophet circling the Kaaba, and they began to mock him, saying, O Muhammad, come, let's come to an agreement. Let us worship what you worship, and you worship what we worship. We can be partners with you in this matter. You can give, and we can give. If the one you worship is better than what we worship, then we will get some kind of benefit from worshiping him. Whereas if what we worship is better than the one you worship, then you will get some kind of benefit. Al-Tabari, he said, that they said, worship our gods for 1 year, and we will worship your God for 1 year. And it was then that Allah revealed a very special surah. Anybody know what that surah was? Al-Kafirun. In it, Allah says, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, say, O you disbelievers, مَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ, I do not worship what you worship, and I won't worship what you worship. وَمَا أَنْتُمْ عَابِدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ, and you will not worship what I worship. وَمَا وَلَا أَنَا عَابِدٌ مَا عَبَدْتُمْ, and I'm not going to worship what you worship. لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ. For you is what? Is your religion, and for me is what? My religion. There's not going to be any what? Any compromise. So at this point, what's that? I missed one? Allah is clear. You guys want to read it from here? Give it to me from the beginning. come on. I'm serious. طيب أنا آسف. So he read this ayah and let them know there wouldn't be any what? Compromise. So they had to resort to what? The third and final tax. This is all they had left. Anybody know what that might be? Huh? Well, we're going to discuss it in detail next week. What? Yeah, that's pretty close. They decided, no, before that, they decided to what? To boycott not just the Prophet, but boycott who? They decided to boycott Bani Hashim and Bani al-Muttalib. Anybody from the Prophet's family, whether they were Muslim or non-Muslim, they would be what? Boycott. Nobody could buy and sell with them. We're going to talk about it in detail next week. So they decided they were going to boycott them. And that was the final tactic they could employ to what? To get the Prophet to stop preaching. But actually, now they don't want him to stop preaching. They want what? They want him to be surrendered to be what? To be killed. And we're going to talk about that in detail and the lessons from this chapter and next chapter next week. Any questions? Any questions? Going once? Going twice? Gone. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك. Who said that? I did. That's crazy.
There's somebody behind me. There's a little kid behind me raising their hand. I'm like, I was like, hey kid, let's check your phone right now.
This one. This one.